Yeah, yeah, yeah. Brooklyn. It's the WGIS, nothing less, giving it straight to your chest. Yeah, yeah. Know what? No chaser. Yeah, yeah. What's the name? It's the WGIS, nothing less, giving it straight to your chest. No chaser.
Welcome. We are back for another edition of the Rundown. It's your boy, the Drum Major, with the chef.
Facts.
What it do, man?
Facts.
What
Ain't
it
nothing,
do,
baby.
man?
Allergy season. I thought I had it beat.
Allergy season.
But you know what? Shout out to CMOS Pills.
That's it.
Shout out
That's
to
it.
CMOS.
That's it. Works every time. Sea moss, black seed oil. You know how that go.
No doubt. No
Kyolic,
doubt.
kyolic garlic. You know how that go.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah. We
With
from the
it.
Caribbean. We know what it is.
Oh, you already know. You already know. You already
Absolutely,
know.
absolutely, absolutely. Well, Chef, we got another good show tonight. Got a lot to talk about tonight, man.
Listen, yeah, it was a busy week.
It was a busy week. It was a busy week. You know, we gotta do a quick recap of the Final Four and the NCAA championships.
But we called it though.
Yeah.
The women's side we call, because that's what we focused on.
That's what we focused on.
We knew that was
Man.
danger. We knew that what that was. I didn't expect the beatdown though.
Listen, this is the score is almost identical because they beat them like that earlier this year.
Facts.
So yeah, so the scores, and so it just goes to show it was mastery. It was mastery on display by Coach Gino.
Listen, we said that. We said they're the
Yeah,
winningest program in college in women's
yeah.
college basketball.
It's just pure mastery, man. I mean,
Yeah,
you hate to see it, but Dawn is right up there.
yeah, she is.
I mean,
She's in third spot. She's in the third or fourth spot.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I would even I would even say two or three.
Yeah,
Because
no doubt.
because she elevated the South Carolina program
Oh,
to extraordinary levels. I mean, they made the NCAA championship finals 3 out of the last 5 years,
facts.
4 out of the last 5 years, or something like that.
Yeah,
Won 2 chips for them back. Won 2 chips for them. She wanted to go back to back, but hey, listen, doesn't take away from the fact how phenomenal Dawn coached this year.
facts.
And she really didn't have no guns. I mean, she had Raven Johnson there,
Yeah,
still there. Got and Tahoni Pow, which is their shooter. But
yeah,
her big guns are all her hitters are in the pros. Aaliyah Boston is gone. She's in the pros.
yeah.
Asia, she's already on the brink of becoming a legend in the pros.
Facts. Facts.
So she just gotta do more recruiting. See if she can get some more hitters.
She's already did that.
Yeah. Once she gets some hitters, it's gonna be on site.
Oh, listen, she picked up this one of the top players in the portal already.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, I forgot the
Okay.
chick's name, but yeah. Listen,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
over.
She gonna be all right. She definitely gonna come back. They definitely gonna come back.
Facts.
You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? But I gotta tell you, man. But before we get into that, definitely shout out all our sponsors. You know, we gotta pay the bills. Graph Inks, Sugar Water Radio, Sugar Water TV, Franchise New Girl, Inspired Motivational Teas, Fat Boy Coffee,
Yep.
Coach Lonnie and Rock upon first purchase. 10% discount with code WGIS1. Again, with code WGIS1, 10% off the first purchase. Yeah.
Facts.
Back to the recap, brother. Because you
Yeah,
listen.
I
Go
guarantee,
ahead.
I guarantee you, Temple is kicking themselves right now.
Who's
Because
that?
Temple University,
Right.
she coached there for 2000, 2008, and
Mm-hmm.
they let her go.
Mm-hmm.
How much is Temple kicking themselves right now?
I can't even imagine. I
It's
mean,
gotta hurt.
yeah, I mean, that's homegrown right there. That's homegrown.
Yeah,
Why you ain't
yeah.
keep her? That's homegrown.
Come on.
She could have had this the city of brotherly love lit. You know what I mean? So
On fire.
on fire. Exactly. But let's break down that championship game though, Vlad. I mean, listen, there was one particular I mean, well, first for starters, the first quarter, they was going at it. It was a lot of action. There was trading blows back and forth.
Yeah, they
Trading
were.
baskets back and forth. It was action packed first quarter. First quarter.
Mind you, Paige wasn't even hot yet.
Was not even hot yet. You know what I'm saying?
It was her partner, her twin,
As
that
he
rookie.
Bud.
Yeah,
Yeah, as he
not
fun.
rookie, freshman.
Sound strong. The
Yeah,
rookie power forward, sound strong. Yeah.
yeah,
They were hot. I didn't even realize how big of a big three them girls were with Paige, Aziz, and Sarah Strong. I mean, that was a legit big three.
yeah. It
And
was.
they showed it.
They
They
did.
showed it. Sal, well, on the Connecticut side, you already know Sarah Strong is the next one up. Sarah Strong is the
Yo,
next one up.
she's gonna be a problem.
She's only a freshman.
That's why I said she's gonna be a problem. She's gonna be a problem. She's gonna be a problem.
We get to experience 3 more years of Sarah Strong.
In 1 year versus her versus Juju.
Yeah, we're gonna see that. Yep, we definitely gonna see that. Definitely gonna see that. So
And we're not counting South Carolina out because they always leave.
nah, we not. We definitely not. We definitely
Yeah,
not. But a couple of pointers, man. In the first quarter, they was going back and forth. It was action packed. You know, I was definitely excited watching the game. I was like, oh, this is they trading blows. They trading blows. But then they pulled away. What the turning point, I don't know if you noticed, but when Dawn sub Malaysia and the other guard,
yeah.
I don't know, she seemed out of sorts and her energy wasn't there. She got picked apart twice, two turnovers. Those two turnovers swung the momentum of the
Honestly,
game. And it was
yeah.
just
Swung the pendulum.
swung the pendulum. And the pendulum didn't swing back since.
It's still looking for
Yeah.
it.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
John, that was a mean blowout, bro.
Oh man.
And it wasn't even the first, it wasn't even the end of the first half.
Exactly. Exactly. And then the other point that I noticed is that there was up there was a 50 when UConn was up 50 to 30, it was almost up by 20. It was like 50 to 30 something.
Yeah.
And South Carolina was about to make a run. So Malaysia started to turn it up. She scored, she got a pick, she got a pick and they scored a basket and then she scored another basket. No, she scored a basket and then she got a pick and pass it and they scored another basket. And Gino called timeout. Gino stopped
Smart.
the bleeding immediately.
Yeah.
He stopped the bleeding immediately.
That's coaching.
Yeah,
That's coaching.
master coaching on display.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And so he stopped the bleeding. He drew up a play for Sal Strong. Sal Strong made the bucket, and it was pendulum swung back to Connecticut, and they held on to swing and never went back.
Easy. Easy.
Yeah, yeah.
It's easy.
So I just thought that that moment right there was master coaching on display. Because typically, I use Phil Jackson for instance. Phil Jackson, Mr. Zen Master, whenever an opposing team goes on a run on the Bulls, he's chilling. He'll sit there and let
Yeah.
them play it out. He'll let them play
Yes, he
it out.
will.
You know what I mean?
Yes, he
Because he
will.
because he knows he has that type caliber of players, especially with Mike on the squad. And he's chilling. He
He's
let them
never
play
not
it out.
had that caliber. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the thing is, so does Gino.
Yeah.
So does Gino. UConn is a
Stacked.
powerhouse.
Listen, UConn don't make it that far not win.
It's-
Right?
right. Yeah.
Just,
So
just a,
yeah. So the fact that Gino stopped the bleeding immediately, I was like,
he's not playing, John.
yeah,
He's not playing.
he's not doing. He's like, oh no, I'm not doing this. We're not
Nah,
doing this.
nah, not tonight. I got a something that I figured out, and
hmm
I'll share it with you later on when we before we break and switch the topic.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I mean, I'll go into it later.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah, yeah. I'm
okay.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But again, total domination by UConn. Definitely storybook ending for Paige Becker.
Oh
This
yeah,
time I've been saying her last name all wrong. I was calling her Buka, or Bukas, and it was Becker. I just realized the U is silent. It's Becker's.
yeah.
So salute to Paige Beckers and the UConn Lady Huskies. Storybook ending to her UConn career. I mean, the fact that she rose some adversity and then to top it off with a chip, that was the most important thing to end her UConn career with a chip. Ended on top. You know what I mean?
She
Because she came
did.
so close. So
She did.
yeah, yeah. So
And you know what, y'all, too?
mm,
The thing that dominated this game was
yeah,
second opportunities in the game, especially in the first half.
yeah.
UConn, UConn had so many second opportunities, and then the defense was just stifling. Like it was,
Stifling.
it was they was
That
all over those USC players,
that
all
two
over them.
that 2-3 zone,
Yeah,
they couldn't crack it.
they couldn't.
Yeah.
They couldn't.
That 2-3 zone was crazy.
And USC,
Is that your is that what you call the amoeba? Is that your amoeba?
that's their version, but nah, that I've seen 2-3 zones be played like that, like
Yeah,
Georgetown nonetheless.
yeah, yeah,
But for women to master that like that, that was stifling.
yeah. No answer.
But then that's Gino for you though, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't expect less. I would not
Man,
expect less.
coaching mastery, man. Coaching mastery on display.
Listen, I think Dawn was so frustrated on that bench. She didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
She didn't know what to do because they had it's like they studied USC and had them in their pockets.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like the points that South Carolina got, I got to tell you, they lucky they even got those shots up because they know how to space the floor and move the ball around and get those easy buckets. But even then, the defense, it was there for block, like they were blocking shots left and right.
But get that out of here.
Out of here. And I don't know if she's their power forward for Carolina.
mm-hmm.
The tall white girl. I don't know if she's their center or whatever, but she had
Mm-hmm.
no answer.
No,
No
no.
answer, John.
And she's not a banger per se.
No, she's not.
She doesn't play in the paint like that. That's why Sarah Strong just owned her.
Yeah, oh,
She's more of a perimeter player. She's more
yeah,
of a
she
perimeter
is.
player. She shoots. So she doesn't bang like Sarah Strong does. So Sarah Strong had her way with her all game.
All game.
Too easy. Easy
And
book.
here's the thing: what Gino did that was mastery, John.
Yeah.
The mastery part for me is the way he used Paige. was offset the ball.
Yep.
He didn't use her to score. He used her to pass, distribute as a decoy.
Yeah. Straight
And
up.
and that's what I'm talking about when you buy into a system. When you have a player that buys into your system and believes in what you're doing, they're not going to jump in the portal. They're going to buy into it and they're going to sell it. They're going to sell it. And Paige sold it. And look what it got her.
Like
You
you
know what
always
I'm saying?
said. Yeah. Like you always said. And as he fought, as he fought eight, because they were so focused on Paige.
Yep.
As he fought eight, Sarah Strong eight. You know what I mean? And that's
Oh,
a
yeah.
luxury, and that's one of the luxuries and one of the pros of having a big three.
It is.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
It is, John. It is. It really is.
Mhm.
It was just an enjoyment to see Connecticut. I mean, South Carolina's been there too. They just
Yeah,
didn't have the players this year.
Dawn ain't really have the hitters to match
No,
talent
no.
wise.
I mean, listen, that chick.
Just Raven Johnson,
Yeah.
her guard,
Oh
but
yeah.
she could do but so much.
I mean, come on. I
Yeah.
mean, let me tell you, that freshman was giving South Carolina fits, fits at the one spot.
Mm.
The last time I seen a guard do something like that on the men's side was like Khalid Alalim, I think that's his name, Khalid from
Khalid El-Amin, yeah.
yeah from UConn.
Mm-hmm.
Guards like that, Kenny Anderson and stuff like that. But
Mm-hmm.
you don't see that on display on this level. You know what I mean?
Not at all, man. Not at all.
It's
But
usually the girls that win the championships. That's because they got the bigs in the middle, like the power forwards and the centers. They holding it down in the paint. This chick coming from West, they would say from the top of the key, just like driving, like you said, those little short dumps, those little short pull ups.
but
They'll
what's
kill
crazy,
you every time.
what's crazy is Sarah Strong is a big, but she could shoot.
She can,
She can knock down threes.
she can,
She's a legit
literally.
3-point shooter.
Yeah,
Crazy. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Just
But she-
saying,
but
John.
she's a big.
But this is where women's sports excels heavy. Like
Hmm.
this type of environment,
Yeah.
you'll sell out a stadium because of this, because of the names, the school names, the
Yeah.
marquee teams. You know what I mean?
Marquee teams like a UConn and a SC
Yeah,
and a USC. Yeah.
yeah. Nobody wants to see Marquette versus Duquette or Drake or something.
Freaking, freaking Drexel versus
Drexel, yeah.
Alcorn State.
Pepperdine. Hey,
He said
ain't nobody.
Pepperdine.
You're not selling seats on that. You're not selling seats.
Uh,
You gotta have if you are Pepperdine and you go in that
yeah,
deep, you better have a whole squad that
I'm
everybody
trying to tell
can
you.
relate to.
Exactly,
Caitlin
exactly,
Clark did it. That's why I said I'm not. It's not the school, but Caitlin Clark did it for Iowa, right? So
exactly. Yeah, 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 yeah,
people so broke like she broke records filling out stadiums.
She single-handedly put Iowa on the map. Nobody was checking for Iowa.
As I
Iowa.
said, you gotta
Well,
have a
wait a minute.
name
Yeah. So yeah, salute for Caitlin for doing that. You know what I'm
for
saying?
real, for real.
Because guess what? We're not talking about Iowa now.
No, we not. Exactly. We were checking for them in the play.
You know what?
Who?
Nobody was checking for Iowa.
Nah,
Nobody's checking for Iowa. You know what I'm saying?
they're done. It was one
Done.
and done. Listen,
Right. Right.
their chance of winning was when the Caitlin Clark was on the uptick.
Facts.
But then
Nobody
right behind,
mentions Iowa no more. No one.
no one. But then
Uh,
you, at the same time, unfortunately for Caitlin Clark, you had Louisiana, LSU,
mhm.
and South Carolina,
Right.
and you had Notre Dame. So you
Sure.
had so you had a bunch of teams in there that was it was just crazy for Caitlin. For Caitlin to win that year, which was what, last year I think it was,
Yeah, I
or
believe the year before.
year before.
Doing one last year.
Yeah, it was gonna take a it's gonna take a miracle.
Hmm.
LSU won it the year that she came out. Yeah,
Right, right. That's right.
yeah.
That's right. Yep, yep, yep. Yeah, man. So, but what you think about the men's side, man? You saw those games?
Nah, but listen. Once I heard Duke lose, I
Yeah,
was like, uh
and
oh.
it was up 13.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, they was up 13 by Houston.
And then
It
I
was up
heard,
13-1 Houston, rather.
yeah. But see, here it is, John. What did I tell you? Once I
Yeah,
heard Houston won, and what you been call it? What's the other school that I picked?
Florida,
No, not Florida.
Florida beat Auburn.
Auburn. Once
Yeah,
I heard Auburn lost to Florida, I was like,
yeah,
oh, Florida go win the whole thing.
and that
Houston
they did.
tough. Houston tough now.
Houston was tough. Yeah, listen, they lost on a play where they had no choice but
Yeah, I
to
know. They couldn't dribble the
couldn't
ball.
dribble.
They couldn't
Cause
dribble the ball.
yeah, cause the kid Sharp was about to pull up
Yeah.
and he saw the defender coming, so he knew his shot was gonna be blocked. So he let the ball go, and
You should,
he couldn't touch it. He couldn't touch
see,
it. It
Ja,
was a wrap.
Ja.
Yeah,
If he was from Brooklyn or Harlem,
he'd have
what would
chucked
he?
it.
What would we have done?
Chucked it.
Chucked it, yeah. That or threw it off his knee.
Yeah, that too.
Facts, right?
That too. Hell yeah, that too.
His basketball IQ wasn't high enough to do that.
Yeah, yeah, that too. Yeah.
So he sold on himself.
Well, he panicked.
Yeah, he did panic.
Yeah, he
And he's
panicked.
sitting there blocking. And
Yeah.
here's the other thing. You're playing college basketball on a
Hmm.
D1 level.
Hmm.
Why are you letting the one guy who could only touch the ball block off one and two defenders and nobody's coming to the ball quickly enough to get the ball for him?
Yeah. Yeah, because he was blocking. He was blocking Clayton.
Yeah, and it was like 1 second. It was like
Yeah.
5 seconds on the clock when that
Yeah,
happened.
about. Yeah. Yeah.
By the time somebody came to the ball, it was 1 second left and the time ran out. I was
Yeah.
like, yo, that's low basketball IQ.
Hmm.
Badly.
Hmm.
Badly.
Yeah.
Nobody hustled to that ball, John?
I
Really?
know. I know.
Y'all lost because y'all didn't
Too slow.
hustle?
Too slow, man. Too slow. Too slow.
And the double travesty here is the stadium or whomever would let Hakeem Olajuwon on the court to
Yeah, I heard
celebrate.
about that. Yeah. What is
Oh,
that about?
oh boy.
That got to be a generational thing because how do you not let a bona fide legend celebrate with his alma mater?
Because they didn't know who it was, John. That's what it was.
That's a
You
problem.
that if you there's no other answer for that. You just didn't know who he was.
Yeah, that's a problem.
That is a
You
problem.
working in a complex like that, or you working for that organization, or you working in that atmosphere. It definitely show that's definitely a showcase of the generational gap that you don't know who that man is.
Right,
It's gonna be scary, man. I mean, the older we get, there's gonna be a new generation of kids gonna be don't know their history.
right, right.
You know,
LeBron is the GOAT.
you know what I mean? And so, yeah, I mean, the next couple of generations that become adults, they only gonna go back as far as LeBron. They're not gonna know who the guys we know are.
Yeah, AI is dead.
You know what I'm saying?
Kobe
If the
will be a
yeah,
myth.
we'd be lucky if they know who AI is
Like,
in
who's Shaq?
the next decade, or who Shaq is.
Yep.
By the next decade, they're not gonna know who Shaq is.
Yeah.
And if he and God, say he comes to a Final Four, LSU plays, he's gonna be there. They might do the same thing to him too. Excuse
Listen.
me, sir. Excuse me. Excuse me, sir.
I think the only player that's probably generational right now
Mhm.
would probably be Jordan, only because of his shoes.
Because of his shoes. Because of his shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole world literally knows who Mike is,
Yep.
and it's because of the shoes.
So that's
Yeah,
crazy. But yeah,
yeah,
Houston had the game in the bag, son.
they did.
Bag. They
They
what? They
did.
lost by one.
Yeah, they lost by one. Yep, they lost by one. They was up 14. They was up
But the
14.
fact that you gave up 14, not 14, it would be 15 points because you went up
Mm-hmm.
by one. The fact
Mm-hmm.
that you gave up, well, maybe it was 14. I don't know. The fact that you gave up so many points and it came down to you not touching the ball again, that's a
Mm-hmm.
breakdown.
I'll tell you how Florida caught up though. Stopping the clock.
Really.
Getting to the stripe. Yep.
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it. And that's exactly like it. They drew fouls, stopped the clock, got to the stripe.
That's high
Etching away.
basketball IQ.
Yeah, etching away, etching away.
Who's the coach for Florida? Is it still Donovan?
No, no. I forget his name, but no, it's not Donovan. He looked like he was a former player himself, but
Okay,
it
I wouldn't be
wasn't
surprised.
definitely wasn't Billy Donovan. Mm-mm.
Okay, okay,
No, no. You know what I'm saying? So let me check real quick. Check
okay.
who Florida Gator coach is.
Yes, folks, I do know this. Why do I know this? Billy Donovan.
You know what I'm saying?
Off the cuff, you know what I'm saying? Off the cuff.
You
I may
know?
not know, I may not remember everything, but I know some things.
Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes.
So,
And
so
so the
you,
Florida Gator basketball coach is Todd Golden. That is his name.
I know that name. What do I know?
Todd Golden. Yes.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well, shout out to Florida for that, man. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
it's been a minute since Florida's been in the championship. So
Well, the last time they were there was when Joaquin and David Lee
yeah, yeah,
and Al Harrington
yeah.
back in 07, 08
Oh man,
when
yeah.
Billy Donovan was coaching them. That was the last time. You know what I'm saying? And
That's crazy.
they were known for the bigs because
They were,
those were the three bigs.
they were heavy,
You know what I'm saying? Because in
heavy job.
07, oh 07 it was Harrington, David Lee, and Noah. Then Harrington left,
Yeah,
and then in 08 they won again with David Lee and Noah. It was a back to back.
yeah. We wind up getting them as a draft pick. Yeah,
And
he was a
David
beast.
Lee was pretty solid though.
That's what I was about to say. He
He
was a
wasn't
beast
bad.
for us. He was
He wasn't
beast for
bad.
us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. He even made the All Star. He was an All Star one time.
yeah. He did as a
Yeah,
reserve.
he
Yeah.
wasn't bad. He wasn't bad.
I like though. I like though. I was like, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
surprised we even got that. But here we are.
Yep, yep, yeah. Here we are, man. Yeah, but it was another great NCAA March Madness season, man.
I
Again,
don't think it disappointed.
no, disappointing. Actually, we was talking about the women's. We was bigging up the women's games a lot. It was more. We were saying it was more exciting than the men,
Yeah,
but I said the men's Final Four and the chip made up for that
it definitely did.
because it was down. It was really literally down to the wire.
Yeah, all the teams were number one or number two. Yeah,
Yeah. No, all four on the men's or all number ones.
all number ones.
All number ones. The Final Four, all number
Yeah,
ones.
yeah. Could you imagine if somehow or another North Carolina crept up there? It would have been, it would have been a big disappointment. Like, come on, man. Really? I don't think
Well,
so.
interesting. That's what's expected. That's their standard.
Yeah,
It's
but
what
not this year, man.
yeah, no, not this year, but yeah, definitely not this year. It definitely would have been a surprise, but then there I'm sure people would have been like, well, that's what we expect.
Yeah, of course. I got you.
That's what
I
we
got you.
expect.
I
And
got
they're
you.
like, well, yeah, y'all supposed to be here. Y'all ain't been here in a minute. What's going
No
on?
doubt, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Well, that's Hubert Davis bag though.
Yeah, yeah, you know
So
what
you think Cooper Flag gonna go hardship,
I mean?
or you think he gonna sit out a year, one more year? You think he's gonna take not sit out, but take another year?
Yeah, he needs to go back. I don't think he's ready to leave.
Yeah. I think it was the only reason why I asked, I think a few people were talking about, this kid he could go first round this year.
Nah, nah. Cooper Flag, from what I saw with Cooper Flag, he's definitely talented. Can't deny that.
Right.
But he doesn't. His game is not something that's um something that necessarily stands out.
Yeah.
That says NBA ready.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
True, true,
I mean,
true.
he's a kid. He's a kid that could do the fundamentals. Knows how to score. Knows how to score from the inside out. He got his midi. Um, he got the basic fundamentals, and he got some hops. He'll catch a poster on you if you sleep on him. He's enthusiastic, but he's not gonna he's n- at this rate. I don't see him as a number one option at any team right now.
Yeah, I'll see
I
it.
mean, if they, yeah, you know what I mean. He's definitely gonna be a role player,
Yeah, I think so too. Especially first year.
especially in his first year.
Yeah.
Because let's say Cooper Flag leaves this year, who would pick him up most likely? Pelicans, right?
Pelicans, Brooklyn,
Brooklyn, yeah,
Atlanta.
yeah, yeah.
But those teams wouldn't fit his style.
Philly, Philly,
Philly got
Philly
uh,
might. Philly
nah, he
would
would let me tell you where he would fit, believe it
yeah,
or not. Miami. Eric Spoelstra.
yeah,
I could see the development.
yeah. I could, yeah, I can agree with that.
I could see that developing.
I can agree with that. Yeah,
Cleveland, I could see that developing. But Cleveland wouldn't get that pick.
nah, mm-mm.
Uh, Houston, I could see that pick.
I could actually see Philly too.
I could see Philly, but I just don't know if they
Yeah,
would get that pick.
no, they wouldn't get that pick, and I don't. And I agree with you. I agree with you in him in terms of going to Miami that he would be developed more there.
Yeah.
Spo would pay attention to developing him there
Yeah.
than say in Philly. I don't know if Nick Nurse is a development type of player,
Yeah.
type of coach.
Nah, he needs seasoned players. He's like a
Yeah,
Thibodeau. Uh,
right.
he's one of those kind of coaches. Steve
Yeah,
Kerr.
yeah,
He needs plug and play.
yeah. Yeah. So yeah.
Coaches like that only thrive off of plug and play players. They
Hmm.
don't develop. They don't know how to.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
They ain't trying to make that time to develop nobody. Like, nah. What
Nah,
can you
nah.
do? Okay.
Yeah, because their mentality is win now. That's why.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's why I picked Houston too as another development site.
Yeah.
eBay,
Ime definitely
Adoku.
get him right.
Uh,
Yeah. Udoka could definitely get that boy right. Yeah.
Spurs would not be a good place because they're
No.
developing what you call it,
Wemby.
Wemby.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't have two developers there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Although
Now
Wemby's having a great second year though.
he is. That's why I said they still.
They're competitive.
Yeah. Now I could tell you where he possibly could go and
Hmm.
be 6, 7 man off the bench,
Where's that?
and I skip a beat. Uh, OKC.
He kind of does fit right. He kind of does fit with them.
You know what I'm saying?
Because they some tall and long
Yep.
mofos, man.
And
Oh,
I could see him
everybody's just tall and long.
exactly. And I could see him being a soft version of Josh Giddey.
Mm, mm. But Josh Giddey got a better handle though.
That's why I said a soft version. Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause Josh Giddey could bring the ball up.
Yeah. But the problem is he just wouldn't get developed in OKC.
Yeah,
He would have to bring
yeah.
his A game. He would have to develop himself on an off season.
Right.
But
Right.
Houston and Miami would develop him.
Agreed. Agreed. What I think I'll just to go back to the NCAA real quick.
Yeah.
I'll just also want to touch on how phenomenal UConn's recruiting is. What is their method to constantly getting a talent that could turn into a superstar every single every other 3 or 4 years?
The women or the men's?
Talking about the women. I mean,
John, listen, it's a
their
formula.
recruitment process is crazy. I don't know how they do it, but it's crazy.
It's never stopped.
It never stopped. I mean, the fact that I mean, when it was not too long ago we was talking about Paige.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
You know what I'm saying? When Breonna Stewart left,
Yeah,
it's like Breonna Stewart left. Here comes Paige. Oh,
yeah,
snap, Paige. We watching Paige. Paige is gone. Here comes Sarah Strong.
yeah, yeah.
Who's
Yeah, the
so
only thing I could think of, John,
this man is yeah.
the only thing I could think of, John, is that it's plug and play. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna lose a budding point guard or two. We got to replace her with a two, and then get players around her
Yeah.
that fits Gino's style.
Yeah.
Because they still got the players there. They didn't graduate yet.
No, not
It's-
all of them. It's just
oh,
Paige. It's just Paige and yeah, it's just Paige. And I
so
think
I'm saying they still got their horses.
as he Fudd could go,
Yeah,
but I think as he Fudd said she's staying. She's staying 1 more year.
smart.
So she gonna super senior it.
Listen,
You know what I mean?
it's plug and play for me. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's plug. Gino's looking at it. Okay, I'm losing Page. I still got these stallions. I
Mm-hmm.
need to go get another Page, but not another Page.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
they just study film.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, boys and girls, when it comes to the recruiting process, it's not your game. It's not just your game. They already know who they want.
Mm-hmm.
It's how you carry yourself. Are
Character.
you, yeah,
Yes,
are
sir.
you a team player? And
Yes,
the way
sir.
they measure that is they see how you are around your teammates and they see how you
Mm-hmm.
are around your family.
That's right. Sure.
So boys and girls that's trying to get recruited, I told you, listen, if you're not a phenom, you're gonna redshirt your first year, and you're gonna be if you're playing football, it's gonna be a rough ride. If you're playing basketball, you gotta stand out, but at the same time, you gotta play ball. You
Mm-hmm.
gotta be a team player.
Yep.
You gotta sacrifice something to get along because they already know who you are. So they're gonna
Yep.
build a team at some point. If you are who you are, they're gonna build a team around you.
Yeah.
You just gotta wait your time.
Absolutely.
Like who knew? Who
Absolutely.
knew?
Who do?
Who knew?
For real. For real.
I
For real.
mean, nobody knew about Paige, right? I told you about Paige. I was like, yo, this chick
Yeah.
is for real.
Yeah.
But again, who else knew about it? Everybody else said, oh, she's nice. But when everybody graduated from UConn, she was the standout.
She was the standout. Absolutely. That's
And the
right.
team was built around her.
Absolutely. That's
So if
right.
she got hurt, they could continue to carry
They
on
was able
without
to
her.
continue. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So that's
They
how they
still they
built
still
it.
went deep in the tournament.
They
But
did.
but what just except she wasn't there. It's a
Just wasn't there.
similar situation with Juju. USC went deep, but Juju could have taken them over the top. So
No doubt.
I'm looking for the comeback next year. I know she
But that's how these coaches
is on site for everybody.
oh my gosh.
you
Cash on delivery, COD.
understand? You understand? Absolutely,
Oh,
man.
geez. So that's how all these coaches, I think, are recruiting now. I think the
Hmm.
recruiting methodologies has changed
Hmm.
for some schools. And other schools, they just can't catch a break.
Yeah, I know. I think reputation may play a part too.
Definitely play a part. Definitely play
Right.
a part. I will say
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
because there's no way in the world that Hubert Davis shouldn't be able to recruit, but here we are. He's getting the players, but
Yeah.
that chemistry ain't there.
You're right. Yep.
It's time to retool.
Time to retool. Time to retool.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Let's get to the go-in topic, brother.
Let's go.
Listen, I don't know what's going on in the NBA. I don't know what kind of air or chemicals or chemtrails is the NBA organization is breathing in right now, but another shocker. Michael Malone, gone. Coach of the Denver Nuggets, gone.
You heard the reason?
Led him to the chip barely 2 years ago.
Barely 2 years ago.
Fired
Before the season
three
ended.
three before 3 games before season end.
And they're in the playoffs, mind you.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Did you hear the reason?
Well, from what I researched, him and Calvin Booth was at odds for a very
Yeah.
long time over players. Russell Westbrook in particular. Calvin Booth was imploring Mike to go young, play young,
Yeah.
especially with the substitutes. Mike was very stubborn and utilizing player in his player personnel. Russell Westbrook in particular. So I'm willing to bet when Russ missed that layup, that sent Calvin Booth over the edge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he thought there was another player that he wanted Michael Malone to put in. Michael Malone's like, no, I'm not using him. So it is that's one of the many that was one of the reasons, but I know there was some other things. There was some disparity against him and some of the players. That was kind of shaky. But to get fired 3 games before the season's over, diabolical.
Very diabolical.
What happened there? What's your take? What did you find?
Oh, chemistry, personnel,
Hmm.
team management, coaching styles, uh, Jokic. It's a bunch of things that played into this diabolical move. Like I've
Hmm.
never heard another. It's almost equivalent to the Knicks doing it to Tibbs, but it would make sense. You know what I mean? We know we would understand like, oh come on, look how hard he playing his players. Every year they getting injured. He's ODing. Something's got to be done. He's out of control. We would get it, right? It would be arguments left and right. This one left people silent, like what?
Yeah,
Like what? That don't make no sense. But you know, I, with Mike Malone, he has the same pedigree as Jeff Van Gundy and Tibbs.
yeah.
So you get where I'm going with this. I think he's coming
He was
back.
he was a Knicks assistant. He was
Yes,
part of
and
the coaching staff. Yeah.
he is not going to be unemployed that long before he picked up. I wouldn't be surprised if Tibbs pick him up to put him on the side just to make this playoff run. Be, that would be a diabolical move.
And that would be a smart move.
That would be a very smart move. Very smart. But
Because they're peoples. They're
yeah,
friends. They're
yeah.
longtime friends.
I guarantee you that he's on the phone with him. You got to be. I mean, there's nothing in the rule book that says you can't. At least I
Yeah.
don't think you can.
Right.
Can't. So, but for Denver to pull that stunt right before the playoffs, you just unless they had a plan with the assistant coach or whatever, You just took away the identity of the Denver Nuggets before the playoffs.
Yeah, you sure did. Yeah,
You
and
know
that's
what I
pretty much
mean?
my bone of contention because not only you fired Malone, you fired Calvin Booth as well.
The assistant, yes.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
No, Calvin Booth is a GM.
GM, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
GM,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. He's a GM, a
Yeah.
former player. Also, I remember Calvin Booth from his playing days. He used to play for
Yeah.
the Wizards. Back in the days, I remember he was a role player, one of the big
That
men.
was a personal move.
Definitely personal, because you fired both of them.
Yeah.
Somebody was like, you know what? I'm tired of both of y'all.
Yeah. Yeah. You're backing him up. I don't like the style. I
Yeah,
don't believe in the philosophy.
right, right,
This is BS.
right,
Everybody's fired.
right, right. I'm done with both of y'all. now,
Job
now y'all got more time to talk about it.
facts. Facts. But the other thing is how many players like Mike Malone versus didn't. So now, not only did you leave a team in a tizzy, the players that trusted him and believed in his philosophy are going to be watching their backs because now they could possibly get benched.
You just totally, yeah. That's the only thing. My only bone of contention with that. The season's almost over. Clearly, they're going to be in the playoffs. 3 games prior to the season being over, you fire your head coach. You just totally decimated the team's identity.
Yeah,
It's going to throw them off. It's going to throw them off their center
yeah, yeah,
because how is this new coach going to coach them?
yeah.
What kind of
No,
what kind of
listen,
what kind of identity is he going to establish, or
exactly.
be it temporary? This is not gonna work well for them. It's not gonna work out well for them in Denver. They'll get knocked out in the first round. I'm predicting
I'm,
it.
s- I'm thinking the same thing, but if they make it past the first round, it's because they have playoff pedigree. Second
That'll be
round,
the only reason. Yeah.
yeah. Second round,
No.
no, no. Because there's certain things that Mike Malone have in place for
Yeah,
each team. You know,
that's right.
schemes, defensive schemes, and
Hmm.
player schemes,
Yep.
and and matchups and
Yeah.
problems. You're not gonna get that with the next coach because he's just stepping in, filling big shoes, and he's got to learn. If he's a good coach, he's a good coach. We've
Yeah.
seen it done where Van Gundy took over uh, the Knicks and made a deep playoff run.
Hmm.
You know, but it wasn't at the end of the season though. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't see a coach stepping in and making a playoff run.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Right. I
I don't
agree.
care how well you know this team. I mean, but you still got to change philosophies because as your own coach, you have your own philosophy. You believe in what you're only there because you want an opportunity, and now doors are knocking and doors about it's just open for you, and this is your
Sure.
opportunity. And
Yeah.
of course, you're going to do what the boss tells you to do.
Yep. Yep.
So it's
So,
like,
and also what does that mean in relation to the players? Are you gonna bench Russ now? Are you gonna give Russ less minutes now?
see, that's the
It's
thing.
a domino effect.
It is. Now you get into the player's head.
Beginning players' heads, yes. The psyche, yeah.
Yeah.
So to your point, like you said, man, if they go past the first, they're not going past the second. And the reason
No.
why they only going past the first because is their playoff pedigree. So
Yeah.
it's almost like muscle memory.
Basically.
They'll be living off of that.
Yeah. They definitely will
Hmm.
because Mike Malone is still fresh in their heads. But come
Yeah,
second round, when
yeah,
it comes to schemes and stuff, it may be the first round. They be like, oh, yo, what do we do? What would we usually do if Mike
yeah,
was here?
yeah. Well, I'm already calling it. I don't think they're getting out the first
I know, yeah.
after this debauchery. You know what I mean? This is stuff like this. I believe you don't do now. You wait till the season's over.
Yeah, facts.
You tie up loose ends or tie up whatever issues you got after the season's over. Come on, we in crunch time now.
Facts.
You gotta
Facts.
put you got whatever issues you got. We gotta put it to bed right now because we about to enter the playoffs, and we gotta be lock and step and take it as far as we can go. Once the season's over, it's over. I go my way, you go your way. That's it.
Yeah, I mean they could have amicably parted ways right after the
Yeah,
season. You know, what I mean? It didn't have to come down to a week before the play-ins begin.
yeah. Question:
Yeah,
Does so this firing does this make things safe for Tibbs now?
actually, it turns up the hot water on the tips
Mm,
because you figure if you could get a Mike Malone over Tibbs, right?
mm,
And I'm not saying that they would go after Mike Malone to take Tibbs' job. I'm saying if Denver could do that, such a bold move in the latter of a season, and the Knicks, what's holding the Knicks back?
perhaps his relationship with Leon Rose. I think he has a strong relationship with Leon Rose.
He does, but he does. He very much does. Hey, you
Hmm.
know what? As a coach, you gotta have somebody to have your back, right?
Yeah,
But if ownership says, listen, he gotta go, because I don't think Dolan owns 100% of the Knicks anymore. I think Dolan owes maybe like 51% or something like 60, something like that. And I think
yeah,
some China, Asian business or corporation or a guy. Anyway, an Asian person owns the other half of the Knicks.
really.
Yeah.
You just learned me today. Did not know that.
If I'm correct, I believe the Knicks is not 100% owned by James Dolan.
Okay, but that explains why he's fall all the way back.
Yeah.
Dolan has not laid a finger or said anything or been involved in no Knicks affairs, which I
Oh,
love because that's
yes.
all we've been clamoring for. Dolan, stay out of it.
Facts.
Just chill out, play your guitar. Let the basketball
I
mind
said,
handle it.
yeah, no, but he's
You
had,
know what I'm saying?
but I think, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I don't know, man. Yeah, I think this sets up an ugly situation for for the league.
mm,
I think like the NFL, they have it set to what we call Black Monday. So I like the way the
yeah,
NFL does it. You know what I'm saying?
right, right.
Come Black Monday, there's going to be some firings.
Yeah, you already know. Yep.
So I like that setup, and I think the NBA should follow suit. Don't You can't do something like that before the playoffs. You know what I'm
Nah.
saying? Especially if that's your team. If that's my team, and I'm expecting them to win, and you find one coach that I know that could get them from point A to point B, give him
Yeah,
an opportunity.
yeah,
Afford him that opportunity.
yeah.
All personal feelings are set aside.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's like the Lakers firing whatchamacallit right before the play-ins.
JJ, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All because LeBron is upset because Bronny's not getting minutes.
Or some nonsense. Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Some petty nonsense.
Some petty nonsense. And that's what
Mhm.
that's what this Denver thing is. It feels petty.
It's giving
So
them petty vibes. Yeah.
so it's a dangerous move. I think NBA teams in the next bargaining agreement
Yeah.
should I think coaches should have some a little bit more power where they don't get fired right before the season ends. If you're going to
Yeah.
fire your coach, fire them before the second half of the season.
Yeah. Find them in February.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? By the All-Star break.
right.
If you're just so in contempt with the coaching, fire him in February.
Especially a team that's a playoff contention.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
You know what I'm saying?
that's a dangerous precedence,
Yeah,
and
man.
and
Yeah.
it does ignite not just under Tibbs, but a lot of coaches,
Absolutely a lot of coaches. Yeah.
a lot
Yeah.
of coaches. Yeah, I
Yep.
mean, but you see, nobody else made a move.
Mm-hmm.
At
Mm-hmm.
least not so brazen.
Right. Right.
So
Because I think everybody else have enough sense to know, look, we're coming to the end of the season. The teams that make are locked in for the playoffs, they locked in. Need to be
Yeah.
focused. Need to be the same continuum
Yeah.
with the same coach and staff,
With
same
zero
culture, same
distraction.
energy. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. It's not now's not the time to scratch the record,
No.
but
Oh. But yeah, there's always got to be that one knucklehead, right?
you know, absolutely. I think
Oh,
I think Tibbs. I think Tibbs is gonna. I think Tibbs. My personal opinion. Tibbs' hot seat year is gonna be next year. I think no matter what happens this year, Tibbs stays. But I think his hot seat year is next year.
yeah, yeah. I've been
That's
saying
my
it,
personal opinion.
I've always said this. Tibbs is a good coach for the Knicks for
Yeah.
now,
Mm-hmm.
but to win the championship, it won't be under Tibbs' tutelage.
Yeah.
I just don't feel it
Yeah.
because he doesn't allow his players to even get to the point where they're rested and ready for the playoffs. They're worn
Mm-hmm.
out
Mm-hmm.
because he's scared of losing. Listen, take your lumps.
Mm-hmm.
If you're that good of a coach, you should be able to get your team into the playoffs and not scratch your way into the playoffs, but
Mm-hmm.
definitively get them into the playoffs and get them to the chip.
Right.
Hands down. How many
Mm-hmm.
teams have done it? Miami did it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They eliminated the Knicks
Sure did. Sure did. After winning the play-in.
after winning the play-in, Josh. They did it from
Mm-hmm.
behind.
They went from
Pause.
yeah, they started from the play-in, made it all the way to the finals. You know what I mean? So
But I guess that's that pressure though too. You know what I'm saying? Tibbs is
mhm.
probably feeling pressure from the fans. Well, I don't think he cares about the fans, but more so his job. Because
Yeah,
coaching the Knicks was his dream job.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And he
yeah.
goes 100 miles an hour to make sure that he maintains and keeps his job, even putting players' careers at stake.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's not fair. That's not fair to the players. It's not
Mm-hmm.
fair to Tibbs. Tibbs need to ease up. If the seat is hot, listen, you let him know, like, listen, you gotta do better, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay to lose too.
Right.
I mean, you lost a season to Cleveland, you lost a season to the Boston Celtics,
Mm-hmm.
and you lost a season to OKC.
KC. Yeah.
Okay, does that determine who you are, your identity as the New York Knicks head coach? Maybe, but it's what you do on the next level in the playoffs in a 4-game series. Can you make this team quit?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We see glimpses where the Knicks look horrible, and then all of a sudden, bing!
Lock and step. Yeah.
Eh.
Yeah.
So,
Everything lined perfectly, dominant, all of that.
yeah. Because there's
Mm-hmm.
no way, a lot of people can say, well, there's no way the Knicks dominated the weekend. And then they dominated Atlanta, and then they dominated, who they played after Atlanta?
It was a below 500 team.
Oh, Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden you lose to the Boston Celtics by what?
2 points.
Yeah, 2 points, right. So,
Uh, Yeah, it's technically five, but JB shot a gimme 3-pointer at the end. Don't really
right,
count.
no. But
Yeah.
when you think about it, in a 4-game series, how much does that count? Because now the Knicks done wore out the Boston Celtics. Game 2 is tomorrow night, and the Knicks could tie it one apiece. You know what I mean? So the
Yeah.
pendulum could be swung real easy in a 4-game series. If it was a 3-game series, Knicks are out of here.
Yeah. Well, everybody see what's so glaring. This is why we have especially on social media. Yeah, because you and I, we in the Knicks page groups, various Knicks page
Yeah,
groups. The Knicks fans are divided. Some Knicks fans are opportunistic. Um, other Knicks fans Not optimistic, optimist. Some
Yeah,
fans are optimists, other Knicks fans are pessimists. And I can understand both sides. I can understand both sides. The pessimism is because that 0 and 10 is so glaring. Like we spoke about before,
yeah,
that 0 and 10, because losing to Boston last night officially makes them 0 and 10 against the top three. So the pessimist Knicks fans is like, we're not going no farther than second. And
yeah,
I'm not so sure we'll make it past the first. Because Milwaukee and Detroit are dangerous.
yeah. They are.
You know what I'm
They are.
saying? They're dangerous.
They are.
I think Detroit more so than Milwaukee because Dame is out,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
if Dame comes back from that blood clot on his leg or ankle and he's in, eh, maybe we still have a chance because that's rust.
Right.
So he had to get reacclimated because you get rusty. As you see with JB. JB, when he came back, he got a little rusty. I mean,
Yeah,
he's coming back now, but it takes some time.
of
But
course.
Detroit, Cade Cunningham, and them boys,
Problems.
problems.
Problems. Okay. Okay. You know why? You know why, Joe?
Problems.
Because they're young and don't care.
And don't care.
They have nothing to lose, Joe.
Nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. And that's what
So,
a lot of pessimistic Knicks fans are concerned about. It's like,
eh,
if we play Detroit, that's not a gimme.
no,
You know what I'm saying?
but no game should be
Right.
that
Right.
part, right?
Yeah, that part. That part. That part. Yeah, that part. So but then you got to the optimistic fans that say, look, and I understand that side too. Like, look, it's Cat and JB's first year together. It's McCall's first year together with Cat and JP. Cat and JB has been suffering nicks and bruises throughout the whole season. So they really didn't get a chance to gel 100%. Mitch Mitch came back at game 60. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right,
Mitch ain't
right.
come back till game 60. Dude's been out for a couple of weeks. So this is really the first year they're gelling. I mean,
Yeah.
they're all everybody's on deck full squad right now and perfect timing. So now with the squad on full deck, this is the perfect time for them to gel and they're gonna prove the naysayers wrong
But
because they're
here's my
coming in right time. They're coming in
right.
together right in time, fully healthy,
Yeah.
100%. But then
Yeah.
again, this is their first year together, so you gotta give it a chance, and they need one more player. So like Ragu needs to come back. So that's the optimist Nick fans. That's their narrative.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Joe. I think the Knicks. It all depends on when they get hot. They not cold. Like
Hmm.
if I had to be an optimistic person or optimistic Knicks fan, they're not
Hmm.
cold
Hmm.
by any stretch of their imagination. They
Hmm.
beat every single team that they were supposed to lose to. Oh, it was a
Big
trap game.
The
You know
trap
what I'm
game.
saying? Yeah, they lost a few games here and there, but they put up 50 wins.
Right. That's the other part too.
You know what I'm
The other
saying? They
part
put
too.
up 50. I could see if they
Yeah.
limped into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Then I would be a pessimistic. But
Nick fan.
they dominated. They had to have dominated at some point, right? And they
Yeah.
did it without Mitch. Now,
Yeah.
Mitch is supposed to be um, the addition, the
Yeah.
block, shot blocker, right?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
then Miles McBride is supposed to be the bench,
Yeah.
six man,
Hmm.
the rebel rouser.
Yeah.
We got that, and we've seen like growth in spurts. We've
Hmm.
seen like Miles Bryant doesn't care. He don't give a fuss. He's gonna chuck
Hmm.
a three in a heartbeat.
Hmm.
cat.
And yeah, and he's cash.
Yeah, yeah. And a cat, he'll take it to the bucket, to the hole
Yeah,
with zero cares.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Reckless
He's had
abandonment.
a great year. He's had a great
Yeah,
year. Can't even front.
he has.
Yeah,
Just the
yeah,
thing, he
yeah.
has. And then Miles McBride has showed you glimpses of like stardom. Who
Mm-hmm.
knows who he becomes in the playoffs?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's when you turn up.
That's when you turn up. Yeah, exactly.
And oh my gosh, OG Ananobi.
Mr.
You talk
Two
about a problem in the playoffs? Yo, this
Mr.
dude is dunking on
212.
everybody.
Mr. 212.
He's
He's
dunking on
earning every penny.
everybody.
Yeah.
And it's not like he's a broke version of Larry Johnson. What I mean by broke is the hurt version, because Larry Johnson had a bad sore back.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine Larry Johnson at 100%.
Mm-hmm.
You almost got OG Ananobi.
Yeah. That's OG.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there's I mean, you got a young squad. They're in their prime, right? They're in their
Prime, yeah.
circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're in their time to win a championship. It's the next 3 years. After that, the window closes.
The window, agreed. Yep. Window definitely closes. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, not even 3 years, 2 years.
2 years. Yeah. If they don't do it this year, they gotta do it next year.
Yeah, they have to.
Yeah.
So yes, I agree. Yes, by that term and standard, John. Yes, Thibs is going to be on the hot seat next year.
Yeah, that's hot seat. Yeah, next season, hot seat season. And I
Listen,
still say bring Ragu back. Gotta get Ragu
yes,
back.
yes. Not only
Gotta get
that, though,
Ragu
John.
back.
Not only that, John. Tibbs is only going to get to you. Listen, Tibbs. Listen, real talk, bro. If you're not hot by Thanksgiving, we have a problem. We cannot go with you into the playoffs with the same last 5 years,
Yeah,
because that means that we're going to exit the playoffs again.
yeah,
So
yeah.
Tibbs, yes, yes, by every stretch of the imagination,
Next
Tibbs
season, hot seat
should
season.
be. He
Hot
has
seat
to be.
season.
He
Yeah,
has to be.
yeah.
He got to turn up.
Mm-hmm.
And pushing your players to 40 minutes a game is not the answer.
Nah, nah. And that's the bone of contention with a lot of fans. I mean, the Knicks players try to cover it up, saying, "No, all you menace police, calm down. We're used to this, whatever the case may be." Trying to defend them, but we know what it is, man. Especially if someone I know, especially someone like you who play basketball, coach guys who play basketball. You know the importance of minutes and how to balance out minutes. You don't wear your guys out because the bodies are wear and tear.
Listen,
Any move,
exactly.
yeah,
And the one thing I would never do as a coach is risk for my career is to risk
mm,
another player's career.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yep,
I've had opportunities to do that. Where, listen, like we went to Charlotte. Chris got hurt, right?
mm,
Bleeding, had to go to the hospital and get stitches. Dude came back and wanted to continue playing. He's
mm,
like, "Yo, coach, put me in." I was like, "Chris, I can't do that. My
mm,
conscience won't even let me do that."
mm, mm,
You know what I'm saying? He begged me, and I took the L. But
yeah,
I played in the next game. I said, "Listen, get some ibuprofen in you, relax, let your body let your body know what just happened to you, because
yeah,
you just took a hit, bro. You know what I mean, you bleeding. You had to go get
right,
stitches."
right, right. We'll be fine. Look, we're gonna ride or die,
Yeah,
but your health is more important for
yeah.
sure.
I'm not gonna risk your career and
Hmm.
the longevity of you.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
game for one game.
For what game?
Hmm.
Nah, bro, it ain't that
Hmm.
serious. It ain't that serious.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You be mad at me, but listen, 10 years from now, you'll be thanking me.
we be thinking, yeah, yeah. So, and that's coaching. You coaching things big picture, mature
Yeah,
coaching, smart
yeah,
coaching things big picture. You
it
know.
is. It is.
Let's get to the damn it, man, brother.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yes.
yeah. You have one for me tonight?
Ah, Ja, Ja. I was at work,
Mm-hmm.
picked up my celly.
Yeah.
I heard doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo. I was like, what happened?
Uh-huh.
Denver Nuggets fire Mike Malone. I'm like, what?
Right.
What? Who does that?
Uh-huh.
Like, you're not, it's not like you're not in the playoffs. Did you forget?
It's not like his season was trash.
No. Listen. Oh my gosh. So yeah, my damn it man is Denver Nuggets. I don't understand why you would fire a good coach at
Crazy.
the end of at the end of the season, right before the playoffs begin, and you're in
Crazy.
the playoffs. You're
Mm-hmm.
in the playoffs. You're not in the play-in. And even if you
Right.
was in the play-in, that's even worse.
Facts. Big facts.
So I
Yeah.
don't get it. So that yeah, but damn it, man, definitely goes to them. Um, Dawn Stanley gets my second damn it, man. Like,
Yeah. We love Dawn, but Dawn got mollywopped, man. It is what it is. She got mollywopped.
here's the thing: she didn't
Damn.
have an answer,
Yeah.
not one scheme to stop what was. And I bet you,
She didn't have an answer. She did.
no. Listen, you know what I would have did? I would have went after Paige. I would have went after her just the same way Dawn Stanley probably prepped, right? And then once I see what was going on, I would have switched it. I would have went man zone. I said, I'm locking everybody down. Nobody else is getting off.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, if you're not playing defense, I'm taking the last man off the bench and they're getting in. Somebody go play defense out here
Mm-hmm.
because defense easily transitions into offense.
Mm-hmm.
And once people get hot, it happens. So I'll
Yeah.
find a saw on the bench. I will. I promise you I will because defense transitions into offense. So that's something that you never leave with. South Carolina never showed up. Not
Did.
after the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
They went to sleep after the first quarter.
Well, Malaysia was on a different energy when she put on the floor, and you could see Dawn giving her an earful. Like, I need, like, what are you doing? Come on, what are you doing? You're one
Yeah.
of my best guards. What are you doing? So Malaysia with those careless turnovers changed the momentum, and they never got it back.
No, she got her pockets picked at half court. I mean, come on, what
Yeah,
do we do? Yeah.
twice.
Twice.
Yeah.
Cookies. Yeah, Dawn didn't have a backup plan, and you're in the championship, Dawn, and your first plan should have a backup plan.
Mm-hmm.
Your backup plan should have a third backup plan because you know it's Gino that you're facing.
Yeah.
This is the winningest coach in all college women's basketball.
Yeah. Gino, second to Pat Summit. You know what I'm saying?
Second,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, Gino's the final boss. He's like the final boss.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm coaching against a coach like that, I'm up for it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm up for it. I'm up. Matter
Mm-hmm.
of fact, I'm not even going to sleep that night. And if I do
Mm-hmm.
go to sleep, I'm up early that morning drinking coffee, going over schemes. I've done
Mm-hmm.
it. I've done it with baseball, with my son's team, where I wake up early in the morning and I'm going
Mm-hmm.
through the lineup and I'm like, listen, Keena, you need to you need to alter this lineup. I promise you, this is what you need to do. Put this
Mm-hmm.
player in this slot, put this player in this slot, blah, blah, blah. And it works
Mm-hmm.
because you know who you're going up against.
Facts.
And I just feel like Dawn Stanley knew who she was going up against, but she didn't do her full homework.
Mm-hmm.
Something got left behind. And if it wasn't her assistant coaches didn't step up. So
Yeah,
for that,
unfortunately, Dawn got checkmated, man.
yeah, she did. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna take nothing away from Gino, but
Mm-hmm.
South Carolina should have never laid down like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the game could have been closer, more
Yeah,
competitive. Absolutely.
yeah. But compared to what they did all season, no way in the
Mm-hmm.
world you should have got blown up. And then this is not your first time playing them. That's what hurt the most. This is your
Mm-hmm.
second time in one season playing them. So you already knew what you expect.
And the score is almost identical.
That's what. Damn it, man. Damn it, man.
Yeah, for sure. Sure.
So that I think that's fair to say, and I think within reason, without saying Dawn Stanley had a great season. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
She had a great season. I'm not gonna take that away from her. I just
Mm-hmm.
think that she came ill prepared
Mm. Mm-hmm. All right.
after knowing who your competition was.
Yeah. I'm gonna go the NFL route.
Uh-oh.
I'm about to say damn it man to Asante Samuel Senior.
Uh, uh-oh.
Dude, come on. You really crashed out on the internet comparing your career to the god, one of the gods of football. You know the saying, your arms are too short to box with God. You was punching up, my guy. You really try to come at Dion and really compare your career to his.
Did he? I
Yeah,
didn't
I
hear
get
about
it.
that.
Yeah, I get it. Dion low key did start it first, so you felt the way. But that's Dion, man. You gotta hold that, brother. That's Dion.
It's for the love of
You know what I
money.
mean? Because he was talking about defensive back techniques. So Asante Samuel Senior, because he has a son Junior that plays in the NFL right now. Pretty
Yeah.
decent corner too. Um, so Asante Senior uh goes on this whole diatribe about his technique called the T-step, which Dion kind of farted on. So there was a clip of Dion clowning the T-step. So I think Asante felt the way. So he goes on a whole diatribe about the T-step, and that's how. Well, they first before that him and Dion text back and forth.
Yeah.
So that happens, and then he goes on a whole diatribe about the T-step technique he used, which in turn has everybody responding. You got Shannon Sharp responding, and Ryan Clark responding. Shout out to the Pivot, love that show. And Shannon and Ryan are basically like, dude, come on, this is Dion. You talking
Gotcha.
about Dion? This ain't the. I mean, there's like you were a great corner. Ain't nobody doubting that you were a great corner, but you're not Dion.
Gotcha.
And Dion said, Dion had a saying, um, water covers 2/3 of the earth. I cover the rest. That's one of Dion's sayings.
Oh,
Which is true.
yeah.
Which is kind of true.
That's crazy though.
Yeah. Defense and then Ryan Clark made this point too. Dion played for one team, covered their best wide receiver, took that team to the Super Bowl. After he went to the Super Bowl with that team, he left, went to the other team he was playing against, covered the other team's best wide receiver, and took that team to the Super Bowl. So he was referring to the Cowboys and the 49ers. He played that year with the Cowboys. He covered Jerry Rice. Cowboys beat the 49ers to go in the Super Bowl. Then the following year, he went to San Fran, covered Michael Irvin, and the Niners beat the Cowboys and went to the Super Bowl. No corner in the history of the NFL has done that. You covered both wide receivers
Oh yeah.
and shut them down. Dion makes defensive schemes comfortable and more loose to play around with because they know Dion got one whole side on lock. He don't need no help with safeties or nothing. He doesn't need a safety help.
Nope.
It's just Dion and everybody else on the other side.
For
So
sure.
a D you know how much fun a D coordinator has when you have a corner like Dion? You can come up with so many schemes, so many blitz packages, so many stunts.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, so what? Jerry Rice is over there. Dion got him. I ain't gotta worry about Jerry Rice. What?
Yeah, for sure.
as a defensive coordinator, you could say, I ain't worrying about Jerry Rice. Look who's over there.
Yeah, you can afford that luxury.
You can afford that luxury. No one says that about Asante Samuel. And not to mention, Asante Samuels gambles a lot. And
Yes,
he gets toast. He's gotten toasted a couple of times. So Asante, he's stirring up past lives about careers and comparing careers. I mean, stats are stats. I get it. Truth be told, the stats is almost identical. They're almost identical. Their stats, to keep it
yeah,
100, their stats almost identical. But then there's stats, and then there's watching the game. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
And seeing, I've seen how I personally see how Asante plays. He's
yeah,
very solid, but I've seen him more successful in a zone package. When he plays zone,
yeah.
when he plays man, I've seen him get beat a couple of times playing man, but when he's zone, he's good in zone. He he lock you up.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? He lock you up. Dion can play man or zone.
yeah, you can.
He could he could he could zone you. He could man you. He could bump and run you. You're not going nowhere. So there's a difference in, yeah, you see the stats. You can post up stats all day and night, but if you watch the game, you can see the impact one cornerback made compared to another, and that's where Asante got to stop punching up, because that's what he's doing. He's punching up. He can't even reach Dion. He's punching up. He ain't got the arms are too short. Arms is too
Yeah.
short, my brother. Your arms are too short.
When you know what job when you saying that, you know what makes this draft more dangerous than anything
What's
important?
that?
Travis Hunter, trained by Dion.
Yeah.
So there's a big thing about, okay, we know Cam Ward is gonna go one, right?
Mm-hmm.
The big question mark now is who goes two and three.
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying that the Giants would be stupid to go San Shador number three if Travis Hunter is there.
Well, if you get Cam, pick up Travis at 3. I mean, if you got the pick, or trade
Yeah.
up.
So it's gonna be interesting.
That's man, shit. That's simple.
Yeah, that
Bring
is
in
simple.
Cam, and you don't want Shador coming to New York, because that's a even more bigger circus,
Oh my gosh.
right?
Yeah.
You draft Cam Ward. If Travis Hunter's still there, yeah, you better get that boy. Yeah,
So they're saying I read this report today that
yeah, get that.
Giants
Yeah.
Giants need to pass on Shador and go for the quarterback from Alabama. I forgot his name. And go O line or get
Mhm.
Travis Hunter if he's there. So
That
this
makes
is
sense.
this is going to be a very interesting NFL draft.
Yeah, yeah, and it's next week, I believe, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
It's
I'll
gonna
be
be
watching.
it's gonna be very important moves.
Yeah, I'll be watching. I'm definitely gonna be looking at the Giants, see what they gonna be doing for sure.
Listen, it's gonna be interesting. A lot of jobs are on the line for this draft.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
the only reason why I'm bringing it up is because you said something. You said something very important. Or
Hmm.
how important defense is to taking your team to a chip
Hmm.
if you got the right player there
Hmm.
that could
Yeah.
shut down the offensive wings.
Hmm.
If you could shut down one side, the Giants already got a couple of pieces.
Hmm.
If they get the right piece, I mean, they got like, what's that, 5 draft picks,
Hmm.
all top, all top number like one, 3, 2, and 1. in order. Like, this is going to be a very interesting draft. I would say that. I would leave it there.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah,
very important. Very important. It's going to be key for a lot of teams. How they
yeah,
do, how they move, especially the Titans
yeah. Dig it.
and the Jets.
Yeah, yeah. Both New York teams for sure. Yep, yep.
Yeah,
I'll be
it's very
watching, man.
important.
I'll be
Very
watching.
important.
I'll be watching. Yeah, man. My brother,
Yes, sir.
that's it, man. That's
That's
the ep. That's the show.
that's
We
it.
done did it again. We done did it again. Another one.
Another one.
Another one. We done did it again, man.
Yes, sir.
Thank for our subscribers for watching. Please subscribe.
Yes,
Tell a
sir.
friend, tell a friend. Hit the like button. Hit subscribe.
We
Uh,
growing, y'all. We
yeah, we
growing.
growing. Yeah, yeah. The subscribers is going. It's a slow walk, but it's all right.
No
I'll
doubt.
take slow walk than no walk. You know what I'm saying? So
We saying something.
yeah, we saying something. Yeah, yeah. We getting the attention. We saying something. So
We
continue to
saying something.
subscribe. Continue to pass the word. Spread our shows. Spread the videos. Spread the links. Share the links.
Yeah.
All of that. And always remember, whatever you do, make sure you love what you do so you can embrace the grind. WGR Sports. We are God. Till
Facts.
next time.
Peace.